What if I told you that the next 15 minutes could completely change the way you think, act, and live? Stay with me, because your life is about to take a turn you never imagined. I want you to stop for a second and ask yourself, are you living your life, or are you just surviving it? Most of us go day by day, caught in routines, thinking that comfort is safety. But the truth is, comfort is the biggest trap you'll ever fall into. Everything you've ever wanted, the success, the freedom, the happiness, is waiting on the other side of discomfort. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But every single person who has ever achieved greatness felt that fear and still moved forward. The pain you feel today, that hesitation, that doubt, that fear of failing, that's your signal. That's your compass. That's pointing you to the direction you need to go. You have to make a choice. Remain small, let fear control you, or take one step, just one, toward the life you dream of. That one step will lead to another, and the next thing you know, you're unstoppable. Look around you. Every successful person you admire, they started exactly where you are now. They doubted themselves, they felt unworthy, they failed, and they kept moving forward anyway. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't isn't talent, it's persistence, it's consistency, it's choosing courage over comfort every single day. So today I challenge you, embrace discomfort, trust your journey, and take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Your future self is waiting, cheering you on. Your life will never be the same once you make that choice. Comfort is one of the sneakiest traps we fall into because it disguises itself as safety. It whispers to us that staying where we are is fine, that waiting for the perfect moment is smart, that avoiding risk is responsible. But what it really does is keep us small, keep us from discovering what we are truly capable of. When you live in comfort, you stop challenging yourself. You stop pushing your boundaries. Life becomes predictable, routine, and ultimately unsatisfying. Every moment you choose comfort over growth, you are telling yourself that fear, doubt, or uncertainty is more powerful than your potential. Growth, by nature, is uncomfortable. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, to face the things you've been avoiding, to take risks that make your heart race and your mind scream. It forces you to step into situations where failure is a real possibility, and yet, that is exactly where transformation lives. Every great achievement, every success story, every moment that defines someone's life happened because someone chose to step out of comfort. They ignored the voice that said, stay where it's safe. They took action when it was easier to wait. They embraced the discomfort that everyone else ran from, and they kept moving forward even when it was hard. Comfort makes you forget your dreams. It makes the world feel manageable, but it also makes your heart feel small. You start to measure your life in routines instead of experiences, in avoiding pain instead of seeking progress. You may tell yourself that comfort is peace, but true peace doesn't come from stagnation. It comes from growth, from living in alignment with who you were meant to be. And here's the thing. Discomfort is temporary. It's a moment, a challenge, a test of your willingness to do what others won't. Growth, however, is permanent. The lessons you learn when you step out of comfort stay with you. The confidence you build, the resilience you develop, the strength you discover, it becomes a part of you. Every time you choose discomfort, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you believed. You are training your mind to see obstacles as opportunities, failures as lessons, and fear as a signal, not a stop sign. So the next time you feel that pull toward the familiar, toward the easy, toward the safe, remember that comfort is not your friend. It is a silent limiter of your potential. The more you resist it, the more you grow. The more you embrace it, the more you shrink. Life is not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be lived fully, passionately, and boldly. And the only way to do that is to step out of comfort and into the unknown. Fear is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. Most people think it is a sign to stop, to retreat, to protect themselves from danger. But fear is not your enemy. It is a compass. It points directly to the areas in your life where growth, opportunity, and transformation are waiting. The moments that make your heart pound, the decisions that make your stomach twist, the risks that make your mind scream, what if I fail? Those are exactly the moments you should pay attention to. Fear signals that you are on the edge of something meaningful, something that can stretch your limits and redefine who you are. Every time you feel fear, it is proof that you are stepping beyond the familiar, beyond the safe, and into territory where change is possible. The problem is that most people interpret fear as a stop sign. when in reality, it is an invitation. It is life telling you that you are about to expand, to push boundaries, to discover strength you didn't know you had. Think about every person who has achieved something extraordinary. Every inventor, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader, they all felt fear. They faced uncertainty, rejection, failure, and doubt. But they did not let those feelings dictate their actions. Instead, they used fear as a guide. They leaned into it, asking themselves what they could learn from it, what action it was trying to push them toward, and how they could transform that fear into momentum. Fear becomes paralyzing only when you ignore it or fight it without understanding it. But when you start to see fear as information instead of a threat, you unlock its power. It tells you what matters, where your boundaries are, and what you must confront to grow. The more you embrace fear, the more you train yourself to act in spite of it. Each time you move forward despite fear, your confidence grows, your courage grows, your ability to navigate uncertainty grows. Fear stops being a barrier and starts being a guidepost pointing toward the life you are capable of living. Imagine what would happen if you stopped running from fear and started following it. Every decision, every challenge, every risk that makes you nervous or uncomfortable could become the doorway to a new version of yourself. Fear is not designed to stop you. It is designed to tell you that you are on the path that matters. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to understand it, to embrace it, and to use it as a signal to take action. It is in those moments when your mind is screaming to retreat that your courage is built, your resilience is forged, and your life begins to change. Fear is not a roadblock. It is the path itself. Success is rarely about being the smartest person in the room or having the most talent. What separates those who achieve their dreams from those who watch from the sidelines is not genius, it is persistence. Persistence is the force that keeps you moving when everything in your body and mind wants to quit. It is what pushes you to try one more time, to show up one more day, to give just a little more effort when the results are nowhere in sight. Talent can open a door, but persistence keeps you in the room long enough to walk through it. Every person who has reached a level of greatness has faced failure after failure, rejection after rejection, disappointment after disappointment, and yet they never gave up. They understood that each obstacle was not a signal to stop, but a test to see if they were willing to keep going when it mattered most. Persistence is built in the moments that feel insignificant, the early mornings, the late nights, the times when no one is watching and you feel like giving up. It is in those moments that character is formed and success is silently shaped. Consistency compounds over time. Showing up day after day, even when results are slow, even when progress is invisible, eventually creates breakthroughs that talent alone could never achieve. It is easy to look at someone's success and assume it came effortlessly, but the truth is almost always hidden behind countless hours of dedication and refusal to quit. Persistence is also about mindset. It is the belief that failure is temporary, that mistakes are lessons, and that every setback is a stepping stone toward something bigger. People who achieve remarkable things don't let a single failure define them. They treat it as feedback, adjust, and continue moving forward. There is power in refusing to let circumstances dictate your limits. There is power in showing the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are willing to endure, adapt, and keep striving no matter what. Persistence builds resilience, and resilience becomes your superpower. It allows you to weather storms, overcome obstacles, and navigate challenges that would stop most people in their tracks. When you commit to persistence, you are telling life that you are not giving up, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You are telling yourself that your dreams matter more than temporary discomfort, more than fear, more than doubt. And the beauty of persistence is that it eventually becomes unstoppable momentum. Each action, each decision, each small victory builds on the last until you reach a point where giving up is no longer an option because you have created a force within yourself that keeps moving forward no matter what. Waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest traps that keeps people from achieving their dreams. We convince ourselves that there will be a day when everything aligns, the right time, the right opportunity, the right conditions. But the truth is, perfection rarely exists. Life does not pause and wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities don't knock in flawless timing. Progress is born from action, not from waiting. Every successful person you admire started before they were ready. They stepped forward with uncertainty, with fear, and often with very little knowledge of what lay ahead. They took action anyway, and that decision changed the course of their lives. Action creates clarity. The moment you take the first step, the fog lifts. The path forward begins to reveal itself. Waiting, on the other hand, keeps you stagnant. It feeds procrastination, doubt, and fear, convincing you that inaction is safety when it is actually a trap. Every time you choose to act, even imperfectly, you are telling yourself that your dreams are more important than your fears. Action breeds momentum. One step leads to another, one decision leads to another, and suddenly you are moving forward in ways that waiting never could have achieved. Taking action also builds confidence. The first attempt may not be perfect, the first effort may not succeed, but every attempt teaches you something invaluable. You learn, you adjust, and you improve. Waiting, in contrast, only prolongs uncertainty and allows fear to grow louder. Life rewards those who move, those who dare, those who refuse to let the unknown paralyze them. Action doesn't require you to have all the answers. It doesn't demand that the timing be flawless or the plan be perfect. It only requires that you be willing to start. The moment you take that step, you shift from being a spectator of your life to being the architect of it. You create possibilities where none existed before. You open doors that would have remained closed forever if you had waited for the right time. Waiting is a seductive illusion because it feels safe, but it comes at the cost of your dreams. Every day that you wait is a day your potential goes untapped, a day your growth is delayed, a day your future self could have thanked you for tea. Aching action slips by. The key is to stop overthinking, stop hesitating, and stop believing that waiting is the smarter choice. Action, even in small doses, has the power to transform fear into courage, uncertainty into clarity, and dreams into reality. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You need the willingness to take the first step, to move forward despite fear, and to keep going even when the outcome is unknown. Every small action compounds into progress, and every progress compounds into results that waiting could never deliver. Action turns intention into reality, and the sooner you start, the faster your life begins to change. Every choice you make today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. Your future self is not a distant stranger. It is you, waiting for the actions, decisions, and habits you commit to right now. The small steps you take, the risks you embrace, the courage you muster, all accumulate to create the person you will become. Too often, people live as if their future is someone else's responsibility, as if one day they will magically wake up in a life they've always dreamed of. But the truth is, your future is built on the foundation you lay today. Every moment of hesitation, every excuse, every delay is a decision that impacts not just today, but the life that lies ahead. Your future self is silently watching, waiting, cheering you on, hoping that you make the choices that will honor them, hoping that you push past fear, doubt, and comfort to do what is necessary to grow. The beauty of this idea is that you are never too late. No matter where you are in life, you have the power to start today and shape the trajectory of your future. Every small action compounds over time. Reading a book, learning a skill, making a phone call, having a difficult conversation, or taking a step toward your goals may feel insignificant in the moment, but the person you become as a result of those actions is extraordinary. Your future self is not waiting for perfection. They are waiting for progress. They don't care if every step is flawless. They care that you keep moving forward. The reality is that tomorrow will come whether you are prepared or not. The question is, will you be ready to meet it as the person you aspire to be? Or will you arrive as someone who let fear, doubt, and procrastination dictate the outcome? Your future self is counting on you to act with intention, to make decisions that align with your dreams, and to refuse to settle for mediocrity. Every choice matters. Every effort matters. And every single moment you spend leaning into courage, learning from failure, and taking consistent action is a gift to the person you will become. Think of your life as a series of investments, not in money, but in yourself. Each effort, each risk, each courageous move is a deposit in your future. The more intentional and consistent you are, the richer your future becomes, not financially, but in freedom, confidence, growth, and fulfillment. Your future self is not a fantasy. They are real, and they are shaped by what you do today. Every moment is an opportunity to honor them, to create a life that reflects your true potential, to step closer to the person you were always meant to be. The choices you make today are the blueprint, the foundation, and the momentum for everything your future self will experience, and the power to create that future is entirely in your hands. So now you have a choice. You can go back to the way things were, comfortable and safe, letting life pass you by, or you can take what you've learned here today and step into the version of yourself you've always dreamed of becoming. Remember, growth begins where comfort ends. Fear is not your enemy. It is your compass guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Persistence is what separates those who achieve from those who watch. And action is the bridge that turns your intentions into reality. Your future self is waiting, cheering you on, ready to thank you for the choices you make right now. Every moment is an opportunity. Every decision is a step. Every act of courage moves you closer to the life you deserve. So take that step today. Embrace the discomfort, trust the process, act despite fear, and never stop pushing forward. You have everything inside you